guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite summer baits. The first bait I want to talk about is a topwater frog. Frogs are probably my favorite bait to throw in the summer because of all the weeds that grow in the ponds, and these are really good for early morning or close to dusk or late at night. And they get a lot of blow-ups. They can catch big or small fish. These are my 3 favorite frogs. This one is a Spro walking frog, this one is a Booyah pad crasher, and this one is a Teckle sprinkler frog. These 2 are probably better for cover like weeds and lily pads. And then this one, the Teckle frog, it's probably a little better for open water because it has this kicking tail similar to a whopper plopper. And it creates a lot of commotion in the water. And I've caught some really nice fish on all 3 of these. They hold up really well. Every once in a while you have to squeeze some water out of them, but they hold up really well. They don't really sink. They have these weights on the back of them so you can cast them really far. And yeah, they're really good baits, and probably my favorite bait to use in the summer. The next bait I want to talk about is a jig. And there's lots of different types of jigs. The main 2 jigs I like to focus on during the summer are small finesse jigs for when those fish are really lethargic and finicky and they don't really want to eat the biggest meals. And also either flipping jigs or football head jigs. Football head jigs are good for throwing around a lot of rocks, and flipping jigs are good for flipping docks, trees, laydowns, whatever it is you're flipping in. And these are probably better for those fish that are still up shallow. This probably isn't going to catch the biggest fish because most of the bigger fish usually go out deep. But this is a good numbers bait for the summer, just fishing slow along banks and trees that are falling in the water. Caught a lot of fish like this, nothing too big yet this year, but every once in a while you'll find some big fish coming up shallow early in the morning or late at night. The next bait I want to talk about is a deep diving crankbait. This crankbait I have right here, this dives about 10 to 12 feet I believe, and this is used mainly for trying to target bigger fish and schooling fish, because a lot of times the fish after they spawn they'll go out to deep water on little humps or trees falling down in the water, brush piles, and this is a really good way, bouncing it off those humps or brush piles, whatever it is you're fishing. You can really trigger a school to bite really well. If you getting the first fish is always the hardest. Once you get one to eat, they typically will all start eating, and this can lead to catching some bigger fish. Most of the biggest fish I catch in the summer is using this tactic. The next bait I want to talk about are swim baits and glide baits. These are both hard swim baits. They both have one joint, so these will usually have a little bit wider action, kind of like a glide bait. So it'll kind of go like side to side like that instead of just a tight, narrow motion like multi-jointed swim baits have. And this is a really great way to target big fish in the morning when they're actually feeding. Because it's bigger baits and they're usually feeding on big shad or big bluegill depending on what's in your lake. The next 2 baits I want to talk about are both Googan baits, and they're either crawls or creature baits. They're really good for flipping into brush piles or laydowns, mainly in the shallows. This is a good technique to target numbers. And these 2 I primarily like because of the patented action that they have that the Googans created. And this little rib that hangs off of the back of the crawls, it gives it a really nice action. They're also really durable, and they have a great scent too. Their colors are great also. And the Bandito bug, it has the similar pinchers on the end, same thing on the end that gives that action. And it also has these other appendages that also have that rib on the back. And they all just flap and create a nice slow action that can really trigger those lethargic fish. And this color here is called Okeechobee Crawl. It's got this nice blue flake color on the back, and then on the other color it's just a nice natural watermelon color. And then this is the Green Pumpkin Crack and Crawl, just a watermelon color with some nice black flakes in there. Really good for dirty water, especially this color. That blue sparkly side really sticks out to the fish. And either Texas rig these or Carolina rig them. I also use them both as jig trailers sometimes, mainly the crack and crawl. But if I'm targeting some bigger fish, sometimes I'll use the Bandito bug. And Googan baits, they make some really good soft plastics. It's all I really use right now. And I think they're coming out with some new baits. I think a Senko and then a swim bait style bait also. I can't wait for those to come out. And so yeah, these were my top 5 baits. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you.